Hello guys, welcome back to LT Art, and today we did some art inspired by this balloon dog. Check it out.
Thanks so much for joining us today. As you can see, Erin did some sculpting with the balloon, making this ever cute little doggy, and I did a quick little drawing of the balloon dog as well. So if you would like to sculpt or draw or both, please join us. Thanks so much for watching LT Art. If you are liking these videos, please make sure to
like and subscribe
down below. So Erin has a very long blue balloon and a pump. That's pretty much the only way that you can get these balloons pumped up. And he's going to go ahead and push as much air into this balloon as he can. Although at some times I do like to leave a tiny bit at the very end. And then he's going to go ahead and tie it off. Usually I do this by wrapping the end around 2 fingers and then trying to squeeze that end in between the two so that you can tie off the balloon. So that's what he is doing right here, to make sure that the balloon gets tied nice and tight and doesn't come undone. Sometimes it can be kind of tricky. It looks like he's got it. All right, now is the time to start twisting. So he's going to start at the head and he's going to give it about, I don't know, 5 or 6 twists. And then he has to kind of hold it with his hand before twisting it again. And then he does one more and twists it again. So this is like 3 times he's twisted. So you can see that. And then he takes 2 of them with the end over the top here. And he has to twist those together now. So you can see he has the nose kind of down by the body. And now he's twisting the top here. And that makes the ears like that, and that keeps it in place so you don't have to hold it anymore. And he has to decide about how long he wants his neck to be, and he twists that a few times. And then how long his legs are going to be. This is the front legs, so he has to twist those, and he puts the 2 legs together now and then twists those as well. So once you've made your little sections, then you have to twist them together in order to get them to stay. And then you have to do the same thing with the back legs. So he's going to figure out where they're going to start. And that's kind of determining how long his body is going to be. And then he has to break that in about half and twist that as well. Twist again, and notice he's using his body to help hold the sections in place so that they don't become untwisted. And then by twisting them together, that will keep the form. And there you have the front legs, back legs, little tail, neck, and head, all done for the balloon dog. Pretty fancy stuff. Now to draw a balloon dog, we're going to make a bunch of ovals. And I like to start kind of a little bit in the middle, a little bit off-centered to make the body. And then I do the neck as kind of going up at an angle away from the body. The head goes out to the front. The tail, of course, to the back. And then I add the legs kind of down on either side. So one there and one there. I add a second one that kind of looks like it's behind the first one so that there's 4 legs. And then the ears will come up on the top, and I'll add 2, one right behind the other as well. The nose looks like a little triangle because that's the end of the balloon, and then the tail has a little bump at the end for the other end of the balloon. So it's a very basic sketch of the balloon dog, and of course you can change how big each of these are. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and trace each of these shapes with a Sharpie. And Then I'm going to add some color. Now, if you want to, you could color it with a couple different things, or you could even paint it. I've done this as a painted project to practice different values. But for now, I'm just going to add a Sharpie outline so you can kind of see where all of the different shapes are. And then you can decide how you want to color them. Notice my ovals aren't necessarily perfect, and that's okay. They do kind of kiss the edges, so they should all touch kind of where they connect to the dog. And there I have my basic balloon dog sketch. Now, before coloring, I do recommend erasing pencil lines. All right, I'm using crayon to color, and what I'm going to do is start on the outside of each of my ovals very dark, and then as I get towards the inside, I want to get lighter. And this kind of makes my ovals look a little bit more round and not quite so flat, so it kind of gives the illusion of depth. So if I take my crayon and I push really hard along the outside, it's darker on the outside. And then as I get towards the middle, I don't press as hard so that it's a little bit lighter. And then you could almost leave the inside completely white if you want, because that makes it look like a highlight. You could also do this with marker, and you could push hard with the marker on the outside, and then you could add some water to have the marker bleed and soften the color as you get towards the inside too. So that would be a fun way to mix markers and paint and give kind of more of a watercolor effect. Now, as you can see, of course, I've chosen blue for my balloon dog, but you can pick whatever color you would like. I'm going to go ahead and do each of these sections like this, trying to add a little bit more shading along the outside. Now, I found even a darker blue, and I'm going to push really, really hard to even darken the sections, especially like where the balloons meet, to add even more shading. So I had, I think, like a cerulean blue before, and this is just like a regular blue, or an indigo even would be good to make it really, really dark on the bottom and maybe one of the sides, or you could do it right next to where the balloons meet to make those sections stand out just a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and do that all around my dog until it's all shaded in nice and neat. I hope you enjoyed making a balloon dog with me. You can always cut this out, add a fun background. I mean, there's so many fun things that you can do with this. So thanks so much for watching, and happy balloon dog drawing. Hope you have a great time with this one.